Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about finding the best companies for field inspections. And what exactly do I mean about finding the best companies? That means finding companies that care about the work that you do for them, okay? Companies that actually care about the workload that you turn in each and every day. You want to find companies that will not be attempting to lowball you. Lowball means to pay you the smallest amount of money for doing an awful lot of work. And there are companies out there who will attempt to do just that. Everybody may not have the same experience with that particular company, but sometimes, especially depending in the areas that you work, they may attempt to give you a fee way lower than what it's worth. Know your worth when it comes to doing this field inspection work. Do your research. Do thorough research. Sign up for multiple companies at first. This is for all of the newcomers. Do your research, sign up for multiple companies. This way you can weed out all of those who are attempting to treat you in that manner, and you know that the workload that you are attempting to put out for them is worth way more than what they are offering. And this way you can get out here and make this money and not have to feel like that you gotta slave it out, okay? We are not slaving. We are here to provide a service, and this service is what they need for you to do in order to make sure that they are covering these locations. And in order to make sure that everything is on the up and up, they need inspectors. So you are doing a service for them, and you need to know your worth when it comes to selecting companies that you're going to do field inspection work for. When you first start out, you know you have to at least get your feet wet, okay? This is simply because you're new to the game. You're new to the whole industry of field inspections. So with that being said, you know that there's going to be times that you may get some sort of inspection that'll come across you that you may feel like that you probably need to be paid more for. But since you're new, you may need to go on ahead and do that inspection. It's okay to do a few of them. That way you at least start to understand how this whole process works. And once you do that, okay, and you get you some new companies under your belt, and you know that this one right here that you started off with was not planned in the way that you wanted to play, then you can weed them out and get rid of them, okay? But until you get your feet wet, hold off on that, all right? Because you want to learn the process. You want to learn everything you need to when it comes to doing field inspection work. But after that, you know, cut them loose. Do what you feel like you need to do in order to succeed at actually taking care of field inspecting and not have to be doing so much work. You know, you don't want to go to locations after you've been doing this for a while and still allowing people to take advantage of you. And I have to make sure I say this because all companies are not created equal, all right? They just are not. You're going to have some that just know what you're doing for them. They appreciate every move that you make for them, and they show it from the start. And then you're going to have those that will offer you a certain amount of fee for the work that they want you to do, and they're not going to bounce from it no matter what you say, no matter how you try to have conversations with them. You're on a phone, you're making phone calls, you're doing emails, all of this, trying to figure out, is it possible for me to make at least a little bit, taste more money for this? Because the last one I did took me all day to get it done between the inspection and putting in the paperwork, and they still say no. You know, those types of companies right there, once you have learned everything you need to learn, you may need to let them go unless you have no other option but to keep them. But once you get past whatever your dilemma may be in your life, you may need to really look into cutting them loose. But first, you know, find you some companies that appreciate you and know that you're deserving of a larger fee. So how do you know if you're not being paid enough? Okay, it all depends now, because some people feel like they're not being paid enough on jobs that they do every day, that they may be getting paid just enough to do their job, all right? So how would you know? Okay, let's say for instance, you get a file and you have to go out and do an inspection, and this inspection is going to require you to not only take the pictures, but You have a slew of paperwork that needs to be done as well, because while you're there, you got to get all of these questions answered, and then they want you to do a sketch on this particular home or this business, all right? And then once you come back to your house and you go to putting in all of this stuff, you realize that it's taking you a long time. It also took you a long time at that location, and then they give you enough money to barely pay your Wi-Fi bill. All right, I'm gonna throw that out there, but you know, some people's Wi-Fi, you know what, maybe I shouldn't say that, because when I was in Texas, oh wee. So we won't say Wi-Fi. We're going to say they are not even paying you enough to pay your Netflix and Hulu together. All right. But they had you doing all of this work. You know it's worth more than that, okay? Not to mention the fact that you had to even get in your car and go to the actual location. You already know what your actual workload is going to be worth. What is it worth to you? All right, so look at it that way and make your own choices on it. But just don't let anybody decide that they're going to lowball you just because they feel like they can. Because I can't tell you for a fact, all right, that there are companies out here who will attempt to lowball some people. But as soon as someone speaks up and says something like, "No, I don't think that's enough fee for that. You know, I'm already going way out of my way to even do this inspection. I think the compensation should be a little bit more than what you're offering," and they will actually offer them more. And from that point on, every time this person has to go into those locations, they will offer more money. But then you have the next person who's working, doing the same type of work every single day, and every time they go to a location, they're still giving them that lowball amount. Well, this person doesn't speak up. So because this person doesn't speak up, guess what? They're going to always make that same amount of money. So here we are in the same city, and they're making this amount, and she's making that amount. So they will attempt to do that if you allow them to do so, but they know it's worth more than that. They know it's worth more than that. And let's say, for instance, they're giving it to everyone in your area, and they're getting paid the same amount, right? But for some reason, they're giving you files that are out further than where the other people are. And it's taking you travel time, you're wasting gas, it's taking time away from your me time, your family time, your everyday time period, which is what you got into this arena for in the first place. And they don't want to pay you any more extra money. Okay, so you already know that's going to be a no-go. But they will sometimes give it to you if you open your mouth. If you don't, that's the money that they're making. And I have to make sure I say that to the people that I mentor, because there are a few who have stated that they work for certain companies and the companies doesn't want to pay but a certain amount of money, and they're going to have to let them go. But if you opened your mouth and said, "You know what, I think I need to make more than that for this because this right here is out of my way. I told you guys how many miles I wanted to go out," because you know they always ask you sometimes at least, "What's your ratio? How far out are you willing to travel?" And you tell them, and then they turn around and try to give you the same amount that they would pay you if you was to go to a building that was next door to your home. I mean, make that make sense, all right? But if you open your mouth, sometimes they will change the fee. Those that don't want to change the fee and they have it written in stone, because you know you have some companies that do that too now. They have it written in stone. When you get an email, when you first start working for them, the first thing you're going to see is the fact that they are not going to pay any more than this right here. And they want you to sign your little DocuSign stating that you understand that this is how much money you're going to make. All right. You already know from the jump, there is no negotiating, because you can't negotiate with everyone, okay? But as I said before, if you're new, you want to go ahead and at least try if these are the type of companies that are calling you from the jump, so that you can get your feet wet. Get out here and get some experience in doing field inspections. When you feel like you got it, the very next one that is offering you better and treating you better and appreciating the workload that you are putting out there for them, you cut the first one loose. Get rid of them, you know, skedaddle, get on up out of here, roll on out of here, get away from me, no more. I care to see you no more. Poof. All right. With that being said, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. You know I'll be bringing you back something later. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.